Hi, Erica. You're going on a business trip next week, right?
Yes, Charles. I told you a few times already. Why? Did something happen?
No, but can my parents come over?
Again? Really? They came last time I went on a business trip. Why do you need to invite them every time?
My mom loves this house, that's why. It's okay with you since you're not gonna be here, right?
Yeah, but can you keep an eye on her? She moves things in the kitchen, so I have a hard time finding stuff. Also, is it just me, or does your parents' stuff keep increasing? Are they trying to live here or something?
No, why would you say that? That's so rude.
I think I didn't say anything rude, but you do know that it's my house, right? Just be careful because it doesn't mean you can do anything.
Wow, you are so annoying. This is why no one likes you.
Excuse me?
You won't shut up, plus you don't do any household chores. So that's why I invited my mom over because she'll cook for me and do household chores. If you want to complain, then why not quit your job and be a stay-home wife? Then you might become perfect like my mom, which will probably not be possible.
Can you say those kinds of things when you earn money like me? First of all, you're the one that told me to work because you said that we can't live off of just your salary. And now you're deciding to tell me to be a stay-at-home wife and do household chores? Are you serious? Why don't you do it since you're complaining?
I work, okay? Guys who do work don't do household chores, you know? Don't you have common sense?
That might be common sense in your world, but generally speaking, I don't think you have the right to complain to me because I work the same hours as you, probably a little longer, and I do the household chores for you.
Whatever, this is a waste of time.
You're right, it is.
Everything is so peaceful when you're on business trips because I don't even need to listen to you.
I think I'm the one that should be saying that.
I don't care if you're gone because I have my mom.
Okay, whatever.
I told you that we can live off just my salary, but you decide to work. I can't believe it. Such an embarrassment.
What the hell are you talking about? Your salary? Have you ever checked your payslip? If you haven't, why don't you check it first and then say those kind of things?
You have some damn nerve to talk to me like that. You will be homeless if I kick you out. Would that be okay?
What do you mean, kick me out? That's not possible, you know. Well, I'm at work right now, so I gotta go. Charles? What the hell is happening? I got a message from your mom that she finished moving. Where?
Oh, my parents are going to live with us. It's gonna be easier for them because they don't need to travel so far to come here.
Wait, you didn't talk to me about this. Are you serious? Did you plan this without my permission?
Yep, do you have a problem with that?
Of course I do! It's my house!
Wow, okay, you know what? Such a waste of time talking to you, so let's divorce.
What?
If you don't want a divorce, then you better listen to me.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm just saying that it's common sense for a wife to listen to their husband. I mean, if you want to argue, then let's divorce, and why don't you just get the frick out? I have no problem with that. I don't need a woman who can't shut up.
Okay. You know what? I can't even find the words to say to you right now.
Great, do not decide to argue, okay? My parents will move in while you're still at your business trip, okay? If you want to disagree with me, then leave the house.
Okay then. I'll move out.
Stop putting on a brave face. To be honest, you don't want to leave the house, right?
I'm not, so I will divorce you as quickly as possible and get out. Didn't we have a divorce paper we filled out before? Can you send it to me?
It's okay, I'll send out the papers for you. In fact, how about now?
I asked you to send it to me because there might be a possibility that you might not send it out, so if you don't decide to send it to me, then I will come and get it myself.
Are you sure you want to divorce me? You will regret your decision.
I think you're the one that's going to regret this whole thing.
Pick up the phone! I want to ask you something, so call me back!
Why?
What do you mean by why?
I don't want to talk to you since we're strangers now.
I do! Do not ignore me!
OMG, what the hell do you want? If you want to ask me something, then send me a chat. Not calling me, okay?
Why can't I pay for the mortgage? I was able to before. I even got a notice.
Of course you can't pay for it. Did you just realize that?
Why? It's a problem for me.
For you? You never paid a penny for it. I paid for everything. You don't earn that much money. That's why.
What are you talking about? I do.
Are you serious? You only earn about $1,000 a month. Also, you were spending it on whatever you wanted while I was paying for everything like living expenses and fixed costs.
For real?
Yeah. You probably didn't know, but I also make money from a side job.
What? Side job?
I'm actually running a company now.
What?
I explained it to you before, but you were on your phone and not listening to me, but I'm used to that.
I didn't know that.
Anyways, you should listen to people more and appreciate me because you had no problem living here, right?
You were really paying for everything?
Yes. Now that we're divorced, deal with everything yourself, okay? I think your parents quit their job because they thought you would be able to help them out, right? You're responsible for this because you let your parents move there.
I didn't know that my salary was low. Why didn't you tell me?
You should be the one to know because it's your money. You probably didn't know because you were spending it all on yourself and not for the house. Don't you think that you're an asshole?
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. Did I hurt your feelings by telling the truth?
What a bitch. You know what? Come home right now. If I can't pay off the mortgage at this point, I will probably be evicted. You know what? I'll take you back so you can come home and take care of us, okay?
Wow. What is wrong with you? Do you think that I'm going to go back to an asshole like you after all of this?
I'm allowing you to stay here because you're probably homeless right now, right?
Why would I become homeless? I'm living overseas, living my best life right now.
What? Overseas?
Yeah, so that means if you need help, I will not be there for you. I started a new business overseas.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
We divorced. Why would I tell you?
I'm gonna be honest here, but can you help me?
Huh?
I'm going to be kicked out right now and I have nowhere to go. Since we're a family, you're worried about us, right? Can you help us?
Family? We're just strangers, so I'm not going to help you.
Please, I'm begging you!
Nope. But I really thank you for letting your parents move in because it was a good opportunity to get divorced. Good luck with everything, okay? Bye! I cut ties with him, and since he couldn't pay for the mortgage, he got kicked out of the house with his parents. Since they all didn't have anywhere to go, they all went to the recruiting agency to find jobs. If he discussed everything with me first and showed me more appreciation, he wouldn't have ended up like this. On the other hand, my business is successful, and I thought that the divorce was the best thing that happened to me. But somewhere in my heart, I do hope that he finds a job so that he can help his parents.
Leah, hurry up and respond to my messages. You had your hospital appointment today, right? I thought I told you to tell me what the doctor said.
Hi, Hannah. I'm sorry, I was having lunch. Thank you for worrying about me.
I wasn't worried about you. I want to know about the baby. He'll be taking over our family business in the future, so of course I need to know if he's healthy. You took your time getting pregnant, but it was worth the wait. And I've been waiting a long time for this. You know the sex, don't you? Please tell me it's a baby boy.
Well, I heard the sex, but does it really matter?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course it matters. I want my answer. Is it a boy or girl? What did the doctor say?
He said that it'll be a boy. At least, that's what it looks like at the moment.
Really? It's a boy. Thank God. I'll be having a grandson. I'm so glad. It was worth all the trouble up until now. Kevin will finally be having a baby boy. Now I won't have to worry about the family business.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Why are you so obsessed with the sex all of a sudden?
What are you talking about? Kevin's my eldest son. We needed you to give birth to a boy, or we wouldn't have anyone to take over the business after Kevin's grown old and retired. We don't have any use for a girl, so you did a good job giving us a boy. But make sure you keep him healthy. If he's born big and strong, then you'll have completed your mission as a good wife. Thank goodness Kevin found a young girl like you. There's less risk of having a miscarriage. Well, it's a shame you're already almost 30. But considering there's a 12-year age gap between you and Kevin, he did very well.
You gave us your blessing because I was young? Not because you thought we would make each other happy?
Don't be so naive. Did you really think that? I would have never let my Kevin marry a poor woman from a family with no history like yours if you weren't young. Being young was the only thing that made you better than the other candidates.
Oh, really? I never knew that you thought of me like that. I'm kinda shocked. I thought you were happy for us.
Well, you've given us a boy. That's all that matters. You've proved your worth. Unlike all of the other useless women that came before you, you should be proud.
The women that came before me? What do you mean?
Are you really sure it's going to be a boy? Did you look at the ultrasound yourself? If it isn't a boy, I'll be very disappointed.
It's not 100%, but the doctor said that it looks like it'll be a boy.
What? It's not 100%? What's that supposed to mean? Is it a boy or isn't it?
The doctor warned me that a prenatal test is never definite. They said they can't promise that it'll be born a boy, but it's likely that it will be. We'll just have to wait until the baby's born to see. I don't mind whether it's a boy or a girl, so it'll be a nice surprise either way.
I don't want a surprise, I want a boy! Technology is supposed to be so advanced nowadays, why can't they give us a simple answer? They should be ashamed to call themselves doctors if they can't even tell whether it's going to be a boy or girl. The family business is resting on this. Go back to the hospital and confirm whether it's a boy or girl. Otherwise, I won't acknowledge you as my daughter-in-law.
Acknowledge me? I'm sorry, are you being serious? I've already married Kevin. Whether you like me or not, nothing will change that. And whether I have a son or not has nothing to do with you, too. What do you plan to do if the baby turns out to be a girl?
If it's a girl, then I have no choice. We won't need you anymore, so you'll have to leave. There's no point in keeping you as my son's wife if you can't even do something as simple as give birth to a boy.
Wow. Well, at least I know how you actually feel about me. By the way, what did you mean when you said the women that came before me earlier? Has Kevin married before?
You don't know. I guess he hasn't told you.
About what?
Kevin's already been married 3 times.
What? He never told me anything. Why didn't either of you tell me that?
Then it just means that he didn't think it was necessary to tell you. Well, it doesn't matter to me. That was his decision to make. It's not like we have an obligation to tell you anything. You're just a housewife.
Wait a minute. This is too sudden. Why did they get divorced? Did he want to leave them, or did they each tell him they wanted a divorce?
They couldn't give us a boy. Each one of them got pregnant, but when we found out that they would be girls, we had no use for them.
What? Because they were pregnant with girls? Did you hear that from the doctors? Hang on, so that means that Kevin already has children with several other women?
That's right, he has 1 child with every ex-wife, if you count them as his children. They were all useless women that could only give birth to girls, so I don't consider them to be my grandchildren. It was a shame that Kevin had to waste his time with them, You should be careful, and make sure you don't end up the same way. You've got to give us a boy.
It's not a matter of whether I take care or not. I can't control whether I have a boy or girl. Does Kevin agree with you on this? Is that what he's really thinking as well? That he wants a boy over a girl?
What? Of course he does. What do you expect? He agrees with me on putting the business first. He knows that we need a boy, and that's why he brought you, because you're young. So I'm the same as the other 3 women he married? I'm just a womb whose only use is to prepare an heir to your business? I'm just a tool to you. Well put. That's exactly what you're here for. I'm glad you understand, and I hope you can meet that expectation. But the 3 other women ended up being useless, so I wonder how you'll turn out. I wouldn't be surprised if you were just as useless, considering your background.
I can't believe I even have to say this. We're not your tools. I'm not here to push out babies for you.
Then what else could you possibly do? More importantly, that doctor is no good. He's always so vague about the sex. He needs to tell us which it is clearly, or we really have to wait until the baby is born to decide whether to throw you out. Maybe I should find another doctor to look at you. But first, let's go visit the doctor you saw today and have them check again. You might have misheard them or remembered incorrectly.
Excuse me? You want me to go to the hospital again?
Together? I'll make him give us an answer on what the sex is. Are you ready? I want you to come and collect me in 15 minutes.
I have to go and collect you? I'm pregnant.
You have a car, so it'll be easier for you to come here. You really are inconsiderate.
Why on earth should I go to you?
Anyway, make sure you're not late.
I spoke on the phone with Kevin about the results of the ultrasound, but he told me he was busy and to ask you instead. He only told me that he didn't care as long as you were happy, and that I should follow your orders.
He's such a good son. Then that makes things much simpler. I want you to divorce my son.
I'm not so surprised now that I know what you both really want. The doctor said that the probability of it being a girl was high when they did the ultrasound again, so I guess that confirms things for you. Fine, I accept the divorce. I don't think I could spend another day with this family knowing what you actually think of me, so I'll leave happily. Let's get this over and done with.
Don't worry, it'll be over in no time. I had the divorce papers prepared ever since you got married to my son, just in case. They've already been filed in on my son's side, signatures and all, so all you have to do is fill out your section. I'm sure I handed them to you after the ultrasound. Do you have them?
Yes, you gave them to me. I have them right here. I wanted to do this after talking things through with Kevin and hearing how he really feels about all this. But he said that he didn't care and doesn't seem to be very interested in staying together, so I'll fill them out straight away. I'll give you your divorce.
I'm glad you understand. Then that's that. We won't have anything to do with one another.
You said you want me to divorce your son because I'm not pregnant with a boy, right?
I think that means I have a right to file for a fault divorce. Will you agree to a settlement? You've got nerve asking about something like that. Just because you can blame us doesn't mean you can use this as a chance to leech off of us.
That wasn't my intention. I was just thinking about my child's future. I'll be raising them alone and won't be able to work for a while, so I'll need child support.
Fine, whatever you say. Next, we'll have to look for a woman who's from a prestigious family and won't ask for something as shallow as money. It was my mistake letting my son marry someone like you. How much do you want? I'll have the money transferred to your bank account. Happy?
In regards to the child support, I'd like to speak with a lawyer first before deciding anything here. I don't want to go back and forth if you don't agree to what I ask. But other than the child support, I'd like to be compensated.
Yes, whatever. We'll pay it, just as long as you leave us alone after the divorce. But don't expect us to pay alimony permanently. You've only been married to Kevin for less than a year, so you don't deserve anything more than temporary. If you disagree, then we'll have to take this to court. You should already know by now that we have the money to pay for the best attorneys.
I'd like $10,000 paid into my account as compensation. I'll be demanding child support separately after talking to my lawyer and calculating how much I'll need.
You're asking for more than I expected, but there's no helping it. If this means that we won't have anything to do with you and you won't bother us, then fine, we'll pay it. Consider it done. Could you transfer it right now? I'd prefer that we clear that up so that we can avoid any problems. It's not like we have a contract, so I don't want you to be going back on your word. Fine, I'm going to the bank right now, but that's it. The talk about child support will be dealt with between our lawyers, and I don't want any contact from you. Don't come near my Kevin either.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've already returned to my parents' house. I don't want anything to do with you or your son either, and I hope you won't bother me and my family after my baby is born.
I'm fine with that. I have no intention of going to see you or your daughter. I've transferred $10,000. Goodbye.
By the way, you reminded me when you just referred to my baby as my daughter. But I think you were there when the doctor said that they couldn't be sure that it would be a girl either.
Well, yes, but he said it was possible that it could be a girl. He's always clouding his answers, but if he says that there's a chance it could be a girl, then we don't want it.
Apparently, it's normal for doctors to say that. It's typical for doctors to be unclear about what the sex of a baby is because it's not certain until the baby's born.
What do you mean?
After we went to have the ultrasound done, I was a bit curious, so I called Kevin's younger brother's wife, Lydia, and I asked about Kevin's previous marriages. This might be a bit of a shock to you, but I heard that Kevin's first and third wife gave birth to sons after you made Kevin divorce them.
What? That can't be true! You must be joking. They were all told that they would be having girls. That's why I had Kevin divorce them. How could they give birth to boys if they were told they could be pregnant with girls?
That's just how they phrase it. The doctor tells us that they're sure that it'll be a baby boy, but says that it could be either, so that the parents don't get too preoccupied on what the sex is. Tests aren't 100% definitive, and you never know if the baby you were told was a girl might just have had underdeveloped sexual organs. That's why they keep their answers vague.
So you're telling me that that quack doctor lied to me? And if Kevin's ex-wives really did give birth to boys, then why haven't they told us? Why should I believe you when they haven't said anything?
I'm telling you, it's not definitive. That doesn't make the doctor a liar. As for Kevin's exes, maybe they're just annoyed with you and don't want you to ruin their child's lives, with all this talk about boys and tools and stuff. I heard that they don't want to have anything to do with you. Lydia told me that her husband is a second son, and they live pretty far away, so they have it much easier since they don't have to deal with you so much. But she feels bad that she couldn't be there for me.
Wait a second. If Kevin's ex-wives have 2 sons, then that means that we already have 2 candidates to take over the family business. This is perfect.
Yes, I suppose that would mean that, but you've already put restraining orders on Kevin's exes, haven't you? You said that you didn't want to have anything to do with them, and asked that they don't ever come near you, just like you just said to me.
Of course I did. What else could I have done? They might come asking for money in return for them not telling the neighbors about their children.
Then I guess that means that you can't see their children either. How ironic.
That's ridiculous. They're my grandchildren. They're my heirs.
Also, even if my baby turns out to be a boy, I don't plan on letting you meet him. Of course, even if it's a girl, I won't let you come near her. Once you've paid the child support, I don't want to have any contact.
Oh, don't say that. It'll be better for the child if he has both parents, and he'll want to know his grandmother. I believe you can give us a boy, so why don't you come back? Let's forget about this divorce. I'll let you live in my house and I'll take care of the housework. You're still pregnant, so you should relax. What do you think?
Oh, you're a bit too late. I've already filed the divorce papers. What a shame.
Huh? Already? Isn't that too fast?
I thought it was too fast as well, but you know, monster-in-laws have a reputation for complaining that things are too late. I thought I should file it as soon as possible. I didn't want to be a pain in the ass if I didn't file it on time. And I wanted to cut ties with you and your son as soon as possible. My brother is a lawyer, so I'll be able to talk to him about the child support straight away. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But I'll be writing up a restraining order, so from now on, you'll have to contact my lawyer when you need to discuss something. Please don't ever call me again. You're the worst mother-in-law. And now that I think about it, with his ideals, Kevin is way too old for me. Plus, he's balding. I think remarrying him is out of the question. After that, Leah consulted her brother and managed to decide on a settlement with Kevin and his mother. She requested that it be paid in one go so that she wouldn't have to have contact with them ever again. Hannah had to prepare the entire amount within days because of Kevin's complaint that it made them look bad if they didn't pay Leah as soon as possible. Apparently, she was reluctant when it came to signing the restraining order, but when Leah offered to decrease the amount Hannah had to pay in child support, she accepted the conditions and gave in. A few months later, Leah's baby was born and she announced that it was a baby boy. Of course, she had no intention of letting Kevin or Hannah meet him. Unfortunately for Kevin, he had lost a lot more hair and gained a few more pounds since Leah had left, and he was having trouble finding someone that was willing to marry him. Karma does exist after all.
Make sure you don't cheap out on the gifts at my upcoming wedding, okay? If there isn't at least double the amount I get from the rest of my family coming from you, then I'm going to get upset. I might even make you leave my dad at that point. Jordan? I'm not sure you should be saying things like that to me right now, especially at a time like this. I understand that you might be excited about the upcoming wedding and all that, but that does not give you the right to say such things like that to me or anyone. What? I don't have a mom, though, so how am I supposed to know what to be saying? How about you tell me what I should be saying, since I've had to live my whole life with only a dad in my life? I never had a kind mom to help me through anything like this. I've been around you all your life, though, right? And I've been trying to act as your mother the whole time, teaching you everything I thought you'd need to know. So don't use that whole "I have no mom" trick on me, because I have been here for 25 years helping raise you with your father. What are you talking about? You think I've ever thought of you as my mom? Could you stop acting like you actually did anything that makes you my mom just because you were around me for a little while? I'm not trying to act like I'm your mother, though. To be honest, I've just been around your father this whole time and thought it would be kind of myself to be helpful with you. And as far as I can remember, you always did view me as your mother figure. But I suppose that was all a lie then? Which is fine, I guess, but you still need to respect me for what I've done for you. Stop acting like I should still be thinking of you that way, though. And respect you? No thanks. All of you know right now that I never agreed with you getting married to my dad. Like I'd ever want some useless grandma around in my life. I wonder what my dad saw in your old butt that made him think marriage was a good idea. For some reason, it's starting to seem like you're acting even worse than before. Did I do anything to you recently? I know that for the past couple of years you've grown a little distant from me, but now it's almost like you're actually trying to make me feel bad. That's because I really want for you and my dad to get a divorce. So why should I continue being nice to you when I'm trying to get you out of my life? And as for the actual wedding, I really hope you don't actually come to it. You'd ruin the vibe for everyone else there who shows up wanting to celebrate me. All of my guests would have to learn my dad got remarried to some shut-in grandma. I understand that I work from home most of the time, but I wouldn't start throwing the word shut-in around. It doesn't make me feel good when you call me that. Well, listen, I've been saying that about you this whole time. And to be real with you, when have I ever seen you actually working a job? Since you're always sitting in that room all day, I'm sure you're just playing video games or watching YouTube, right? Just because you're not seeing me work does not mean I'm not doing other things in here. What I'm doing is just not something I need to show you, and if I leave the door open for everyone all the time, I won't be able to focus. That's probably why you've never seen what I'm actually doing in that room. But I promise you that what I'm doing is related to my job. That's what you say. Thank God Dad is such a nice man, right? If he was any more strict with you, then you'd never be able to continue playing those video games all day long, right? How about now that I'm out of the house, though, you go ahead and divorce him? You really want your father to be alone that badly? Do you think that I'm taking him away from you or something? If I say that I'm feeling that way, will you divorce him for me? I'll put some thought into it, yes. By the way, I'm already married at this point and will be going to my husband here soon. And you know that, right? So, since things between you and I will really be ending here, I'll let you in on one final secret. My dad, he's in love with a younger woman than you right now. She's a model, so recently the two of them have been going on quite a few dates with one another. What? What are you talking about? Oh, so you really didn't know about any of this, huh? I kind of figured that someone like you would be clueless. I know there are plenty of older women who begin to stop thinking about the world around them as they've gotten older. But in your case, you must have completely forgotten that there are in fact better-looking women than you out there. Would you please tell me what's going on here? Is your father really going out with another woman now? I'm honestly not too sure, so you might want to go and talk with him about it. But from my point of view, I'm kind of thinking he does have another younger woman around. Just from the way he's leaving the house in a hurry sometimes, I can tell that she's got him all tied up in herself. Dang, Julian, there really is nothing left you can do now. I see. Well, thank you for giving me a heads up. If this is really true, then I guess we're closer to a divorce than even I had thought. But before you do get that divorce, make sure you allow me to have my wedding first. Wouldn't want to get any bad luck from you or my dad, right? Doesn't seem right to me to have my wedding after you both have cut ties. It seems that everything must be about you then. All right then, if that's what you want from me, then I'll listen. As for right now, I'm going to start getting to the bottom of things with your father.
By the way, I wanted to talk about this month's allowance. You think you can up it a little for me? I have Jordan's wedding and all coming up. With what little you're giving me now, it might make things a bit tough for me come time that I'd have to help her with the wedding costs and her gifts from me.
What are you talking about, Richard? Month after month, you've already been asking me to raise your allowance for whatever reasons you have. Are there really that many things going on in your life that require you to get more money from me?
There's nothing crazy going on here. I just happen to have a lot of work on my plate, and that leads to me getting stressed out. And so I want to use that money you give me to get some fresh air and relax a little bit. You're making all kinds of money with your job, so it's not like you have anything to worry about. So how about you just give me a bit more each month in my allowance? That way things can be a little bit more fair here.
If that's how you're feeling, then how about you leave that dead-end job you have and work for a company that actually values you and pays you more? I don't want you thinking you can just take my money and play around with it all the time. But in some work yourself, and I promise you'll start making more money and won't have to keep asking your wife for her money.
Hey, don't say things like that. We have both been working for as far as I can remember, at least while we've been married, right? Yet you're not going to let me have anything that you've earned? I thought that by being married we were supposed to share what we made.
I've been letting you have quite a bit of it already. The thing is, you haven't been giving me anything in return. You take all that money you make and spend it all on yourself. Everything that has to do with this house, I'm being left to pay for. And for as long as I can remember, I haven't gotten any money from you to help me out, or even as a gift to show your love and appreciation for me.
But look, Jordan is going to be leaving us soon, so you won't have to pay for her anymore, right? That means you and I can have a little more fun with our lives, right? So you shouldn't be upset about giving me a bit more to spend every month. And as for that appreciation you're seeking from me, I give it to you every day by staying with you.
A little more fun with our lives? For some reason that makes it sound like you don't want to have fun with me, but rather have fun by yourself outside of the house. Hasn't that been where all my money's gone to already that I've given you? I'm sorry, but I'm not okay with that.
Hey, what's gotten into you? You've never spoken to me like that before. What happened to you today that's made you so stingy?
I'm starting to realize that your spending is a little suspicious. Up until now, I haven't really thought anything of it. But then I was being asked for money and gifts from your daughter. and she told me she wanted more from me than anyone else in the family.
That sounds like her. She must have gotten that kind of greedy mindset from her mother. That woman went and took all the money she could get and ran from me. Jordan must have seen her mother doing all of that and ended up loving money and things just as much as her.
And you seem to be the same way as those two.
What was that?
Whatever. Jordan, what is this all about? Where is my seat supposed to be today? Did you forget to tell the wedding staff to set my name out? Huh? I didn't forget anything today. I just made sure that there was no place for you today at this wedding. What? There is no seat here today for some fake wannabe mom like you. This wedding is only for my real family, so a stranger like you needs to get out of here. Just leave whatever gifts and money you bought for me up front and go home. You made sure to bring me a lot of things today, right? Fake wannabe mom? Up until this very day, I have done so much to support you, yet after all of that, this is how I'm treated? You just supported me out of your own desires. I never asked for a single thing from you, right? If you're going to throw a fit about how unfairly you think you've been treated, how about you go outside and do it? We wouldn't want the security in this building to have to come and carry you out for causing a ruckus, right? But if that's what you really want, then go ahead and start crying. I see. So this is really how things are going to be? That's right. And right now it seems your father doesn't care about what's happened to me and is laughing while I stand here patiently waiting. He's told me already that you're the bride today and that if you don't want me here, there is nothing else I can do. He seems to think you want him to be alone today, and that makes him laugh out of happiness. Awesome! Dad is so cool. Why did I ever decide to stick my neck out for you guys all this time? Don't worry, because you don't have to do anything for us anymore. Now shut up and get out of here. Or else I seriously will have the security team come and carry you out. You're not supposed to be here today, so get. All right, I'm going then. And if you regret what you've done later on, I'm not going to listen to you whine. You think anything's going to change today by you not being here? Stop thinking that you're all that important to any of us. I'm cutting ties to you today. Goodbye forever, you useless grandma. Understood. I'll make sure to have these divorce papers handed in today. That will be my wedding gift to you. Seriously? Thank you. No, I really can say goodbye to you forever. Hey, what's going on here? I'm being told that the wedding is now being canceled? They're asking everyone to leave this wedding hall now. Who is this? Stop playing dumb, you idiot. I am your daughter, Jordan. I don't have a daughter, though. You're really going to start telling crappy jokes like that now? Why are things turning out like this now? I never told anyone that I wanted my wedding canceled. Well, don't worry, because I did. Huh? What does that mean? How could you have canceled my wedding? Well, I was the one who went and paid for the whole wedding. What? And since that wedding I paid for would not be seating me, I chose to have it canceled. I have no idea what you're talking about. This whole wedding was all paid for by Dad. What the hell are you going on about? Oh, now that you say that, I'm sure that's how he explained things to you. But unfortunately, whatever your father was telling you was a lie. In reality, I was the one that paid for every little thing related to the wedding today. What? Are you being serious? Well, yes, of course I'm being serious. Isn't the fact that your wedding is being canceled right now clear enough evidence of that? Why? If you're really the one who paid for everything, then why did Dad lie to me about it? That's because your father wants you to continue liking him, and would rather you like him than me. And, well, that led to him trying to show off so that you'd stay with him instead of coming to me. Well, it's too bad things had to end this way, because now you're just going to find out just how poor of a father he really is. No way. You have to be lying. I just went and asked Dad about this, and he won't say a word to me now. I'm sure he won't, because no matter how much he's tried to fake being the man of the house, the only true man of the house with all the power and money was me. That man can't do anything by himself, and you'll soon realize that. You have all the power and money? But the one making the most money is Dad, right? No, that would be me. Honestly, with your father, he's already been trying his best just to stay alive. And that's with the help of me giving him a monthly allowance. Huh? What does that mean? I never heard anything about all of that. And that's because you never care to listen to what anyone has to say to you. I've talked about this many times now, about how I happen to work a very important job from home and that I'm the one paying for everything in the home. And I have made sure that every time you tried to say I was only in my room playing games, that I am actually in there working diligently. Yet you never listened to any of those words I said and continued to believe in that lie you made up about me. So don't get upset with me that you chose to live in your false reality. Are you really making all of that money from home? Wait, I sort of had an idea that you'd be working a little bit in that room, but I just assumed you were only making enough to support your hobby of gaming. Well, you never actually cared about anything I was up to and would always leave the house and go out and mess around. That's why you have no idea what kinds of things I was doing for work. But I was always getting my allowance from Dad. I know, and all of that money was coming from me. But your father wanted to make sure, no matter what, that you never found out about that. So I had to keep it a secret for so long that I was the one who really handed all her money to the family. Why would you keep all of that a secret? Because if I were to say anything, then your father would have been destroyed, right? He wanted to seem like this really cool father in front of you. And during those times, I was in love with him. So I had to give in to what he wanted and keep everything a secret with him. Wait, Dad is starting to get really upset right now. He wants to know why you've started talking about all that. He's telling me to tell you that all of that has nothing to do with my wedding? What? Such a loser. So that's all he has to say about what's going on? What do you think of him, Jordan? Do you still find your father to be a really cool guy after he went and kept all this stuff about his income and money to you a secret? I really want to get pissed off at him right now, and what he's done is totally uncool and makes me want to say goodbye to him forever too. Why have I respected my dad so much all this time? Right? I was thinking that myself, and that's why I gave up on keeping that a secret from you. So there you go. That's why I've told you the truth, yet it seems your father still wants to keep the truth hidden from you. I get it now. I get it all now, so you can come back here. You can come back here and join my wedding as long as you tell the staff it won't be canceled. You really think something as wonderful as that is going to happen for you? I told you already that I'm going to get this divorce now, right? I knew something like this was going to happen today, so I made sure to prepare in advance. That's why all of your things are out of the house now, and I'll go ahead and toss them for you, okay? What? What are you talking about now? Wait, does this mean the house is also... That's right, my name is on the house. I've been the one renting the house this whole time, and pretty soon here I'm going to be moving out. I've really wanted to get myself a proper office for work, and so I was thinking it'd be best to get myself an office and then set up a bed in there to sleep. I'll have the lock and everything changed on the house, so both you and your father can stay out of it now. Wait a second! Things are going way too quickly for me. I never heard about any of that either. Aren't you being a real jerk right now, tossing all my things out of the house like that? Wasn't all of this what you wanted, though? I'm giving you the gift of a divorce between myself and your father, yet you're going to get all upset about it now? You don't have to divorce Dad anymore. Please, come back here. You have to do something about what's going on here. All of the groom's family is getting really upset with me now and are threatening to take him away from me. Wow, sucks to be you then, I suppose. Too bad that I don't care. Honestly, I'm sure they are all happy to learn about the true person you and your father are before having the wedding. They're probably thankful for what I've done. Shut the hell up! Do you have any idea what this will do to my life? You think I care about some complete stranger's life? Be happy that I gave up 25 years of my life supporting you and your father. Be thankful for all that. I understand, and I am very thankful for all you've done. Thank you so much for everything, Mom. So please come back here now. I don't ever remember being your ATM, all right? So stop it with all of that fake appreciation for me and get real. Really, do you have any idea how much I am done with your father? Always needing me to do everything for him, even going as far as asking me to pay for your whole wedding, and then on the day of, stabbing me in the back? I think the both of you need to spend some quality time in hell for this. don't say things like that. I'm not kidding when I say that right now things are really crazy. Dad's girlfriend just showed up to the wedding. She just started to tell him about how back in the day she did some things with his older brother. He knew about how she used to work as a prostitute and would take advantage of her all the time. Oh, she's talking about that stuff now? I knew there was something wrong with her. But to think she did something as wild as that with his brother. What? Do you know her? After you gave me a few hints about how your father was cheating on me, I decided to delve into it a bit more. I got my lawyer involved, and we hired an investigator to have a look at what was going on with your father and her. We needed to know about who she was and what she was up to. You went and did something like that? And as for the allowance I was handing your father each and every month, most of it was going to that woman and the time he spent with her. I want all that money back that I wasted on him, so I'll make sure this settlement I get from him is huge. Settlement? You thought I'd just skip all the fun? I know about how he's been with her for the longest time now, cheating on me. And, well, cheating on me while married gives me the ability to take action against him. I'm still in the talks with my lawyer, so please give me just a few more days. Wait, this can't be happening. Dad doesn't even have the money to pay you back. You think I care about him having the money or not? If he doesn't, then he'd better start moving his ass and making that money for me. We're being asked to pay for the rest of this wedding now? We don't have that kind of money on us. Please, come here and do something about this, Mom. Who is this mom you're talking about? You would never be calling some stranger that, right? You and I have cut ties completely now. So would you shut your mouth and let me have the peace of being free from you both that I deserve? Please don't say things like that, Mom. I will apologize to you for everything my dad and I have done. Don't abandon the both of us at a time like this. Up until a few days ago, I had been trying my best not to be bothered by everything your father and you were doing and just focus on my work. But now that I think about it, I should have gotten rid of you both long ago before things came to this. Now, I've told you what this divorce is, right? It's that present you were asking from me for your wedding that's better than anything anyone else will be giving you, all right? And you losing your wedding and getting into debt with your father is something I believe suits the both of you as well. So please take that next step forward and fall into the hell you've created for yourself. After that, the rest of the groom's family had had enough of Jordan, and they all began to walk out of the wedding hall, officially ending the wedding that Jordan had been so happy about. And as for what Jordan had been saying about her already being married to her fiancé, she was lying and only said that in order to make me feel even worse about how she would be leaving and wanting me to divorce her father. Anyway, as the rest of the groom's guests left the hall, so did a lot of Jordan's guests as well. And soon it was just her and Richard in there, surrounded by the wedding staff, asking for the remainder of the payment that was needed. Neither of them could afford to pay the remaining $5,000, and so Richard ended up writing them a check, knowing very well it would bounce in a couple of days and he'd be in huge trouble. When those two came running back to the house from the wedding, they both found all their things out in the yard, as well as the doors all being locked like I had said. They sat outside for hours, begging to be let inside by me, but I wasn't even at the house at the time and was just watching all of this drama unfold through my doorbell camera. And before they both decided to give up and leave my property, they got into this massive fight, screaming and yelling at one another about whose fault all of this was, before running out of energy and running off. They both would later get themselves a dirt cheap apartment where they've been living now without any furniture in it besides what they already owned. They would later be visited by my lawyer, who would let Richard know that the divorce had been concluded and that he and I were officially exes now. And along with that, he would be told about the settlement he owed me, and that he would get 3 months to pay it off, or else I would be taking him to court and raising said settlement. I'm not really sure he'll ever be able to get me that money I've asked for, but that's all right, because I know deep down that I already have more money than he ever will, and that at least I was given this divorce, which is going to be saving me a lot of money going into the future. The both of them regret never appreciating me for all the things I did for them, and have since had to sit in that apartment crying about what they've lost. But that's not something I care about, as those two most definitely deserved this. And I'm sure once that wedding hall finds that the check has bounced, they will go after Richard and Jordan, and they'll have a new kind of hell to live in. As for myself, I ended up ending the lease on that rented house and got myself a decent-sized office space downtown where I can get my work done from. There's also a small kitchenette inside it and enough space in one of the adjacent rooms for me to make a bedroom out of. I think for the time being I'll be living here, focusing all of my time and effort entirely into my job instead of into that selfish and greedy family that I once had. Old woman, I think I'm going to be cutting ties to you now.
Huh? What are you going on about now? Did something happen to you, Hope?
This isn't about what's happened to me, Mom. This is about keeping things from ever having to happen. And that's why I no longer want anything to do with you. I'm going to get married, so I have a new life coming to me.
Oh, is that right? Congratulations, Hope. It makes me so happy inside to hear that my own little baby is finally going to be getting married. That's just so wonderful for you, as the man you're with right now seems like a true gentleman. So I can see you both being really happy with one another forever.
Well, all he really is a nice man that happens to have a lot of money to his name.
Huh?
His looks aren't all that good, so I'd have to say that he'd be a 4 out of 10 if not for that wealth. But because of all that money I've seen on him, he's a 10 out of 10. So that's why, after we have our wedding, I can give up on having to work any lousy jobs anymore and be a stay-at-home wife. I'll have the most relaxing life ever being his housewife. I'm so glad to see that I won't have to walk the same path that my poor and depressing mom has had to go down.
Wait, what you said just then is a bit too rude, right? That just made me feel a little sad inside, Hope. I've been doing a wonderful job as a mother raising both you and your older brother without a man to help me out. So are you trying to say to me that you don't feel any kind of thanks towards what I've done for you?
Thanks towards you, huh? All I've been thinking about is how I'm finally going to have the chance to cut ties to my low-life mother. I don't feel any form of thanks, and all I want to feel is the loss of my mother. I'm not even able to rely on you for anything anymore, and that means I don't want you asking me for anything.
Are you actually being serious about cutting ties to me? You think that just because you're going to be married, you can just cut off your own mom? Or are you really trying to say that you don't give a crap about me as your mom?
You already know the answer to those questions. I really don't care for you at all, and I just can't stand being around you anymore. All you're doing by being my mother now is staining my image.
I can understand you forgetting a lot of the sacrifices I've had to make birthing and raising you when you were younger. But you saying all these really hurtful things to me now when you're supposed to be acting like an adult is just heart-wrenching.
I never needed you to sacrifice anything for me back then, Mom. By the way, you're getting into your 50s now, yet you're still working as a traffic conductor? Aren't you embarrassed to be standing on the streets all day working at your age? It even makes me feel embarrassed knowing that you're out there doing such a sickening job at your age.
I don't feel any kind of embarrassment from what I do. I actually happen to really enjoy the job and am confident in it. I get that there are times where the work can be tough for me considering I'm getting old, but I still find it a good job. I put my all into this work, and I don't want to be called a lowlife for working a job like this.
That kind of thinking is so gross, and it's making me want to vomit even. I'll make it very clear to you right now that I don't want a lowlife woman like you coming to my wedding.
You don't even want me at your wedding? You're telling me that you're going to cut ties to me and that you don't want me at your wedding. Are you trying to make your own mother cry? Have you even had a chance to think about how your words might be hurting me?
I'm telling you that I can't deal with some traffic conductor or whatever you are showing up in my life anymore. I was lucky that my brother ended up showing me to one of his friends that then ended up being my soon-to-be husband. And now I'll be able to be treated well for the rest of my life. The man I'm marrying's parents run their own company. And right now, they are talking about giving the company to him soon, and that'll mean I get to be the wife of a CEO.
And I think that's very good news for you. But does that give you any reason to be talking poorly about me? I'm your mom after all, and I should be treated with way more respect than this.
I'm seen as being a perfect match for my man's family, and having someone like you still tied to me is just awful. I didn't even bother asking you to come and meet his parents when we all got together.
What? Has all of that already happened then?
It sure has, Mom. But we had no desire of you coming along to see them. And I mean, I'm going to be cutting ties to you anyway, so it's not like you really need to see them.
You have to stop talking about wanting to cut ties to me, okay? Why would anyone do that to their mother when nothing's ever happened to warrant such a choice? You think that just because your man has money and because you think I'm some kind of lost cause, you can cut ties to me? Don't you feel terrible saying such things to your mom?
I've been telling you how I feel about all of this pretty clearly, right? I don't even want a lowlife like you coming to my wedding to see us. And after the wedding, I'm cutting ties to you, and so is the rest of his family. You can go run off somewhere and live by yourself, you lost cause of an old traffic conductor.
If you're going to keep it up with all of those heartless phrases, then I think I'm going to reach my breaking point, Hope. So are you really telling me that this is what you're wanting to say to me?
You already know that I'm wanting to say all of this. I do not want anything to do with a lowlife old woman. And the moment that I marry and have my wedding, things between us will be over. So just stay away from my wedding, would ya?
Are you really okay with this?
You're starting to get on my nerves here. How many more times are you going to ask me if I'm okay with what I've said? If an old hag like you, who doesn't even work a needed job, comes to my wedding, you'll embarrass us all. And beware that there won't even be a seat for you at our very luxurious wedding.
All right then. I won't go.
And don't forget that after, we are going to be no more.
You're asking me to not come to your wedding, so don't even worry about me being around you anymore. But you're the one asking for us to cut ties, so I'll make sure of that. Hope, are you really certain about this? You're fine with losing me as your mom?
I have told you already that of course I'm certain. I'll finally be able to live the life of my dreams now that you're no longer holding me back.
Well, that's just wonderful. Then you go right ahead and live that life you've always dreamed of. I can see you care about nothing regarding all the blood and sweat I've given for you. And so I'll do the same with you, and forget about you ever being my sweet little girl. This'll be horrible. Goodbye forever then, Hope. Make sure you never come back asking for my help, okay?
Who would ask you for anything? I should be saying that to you, you lowlife.
I recommend that from now on you don't call a stranger something like that, as it's not good manners. But it's not like you'll be talking to me anymore anyway, right? What do you want with me?
Mom! Are you able to come to the wedding right now?
I don't remember having a daughter named Hope in my family, so can you please tell me again what you want with me?
You don't have to keep acting like that anymore. Your daughter is in a bit of a tough spot right now, so can you come? Hurry up and get here, please. To my wedding.
Before you were telling me not to come to your wedding and that both you and I were no longer family, right? So I'm only doing as you've asked for me, and there shouldn't be any complaints about that, right?
I told you that you can forget about all of that now. I'm sorry that I happened to talk a little too much with you last time. But today is the day of my wedding, okay? You have to be here for your daughter's wedding.
Listen, Hope, you need to cut the crap right now. I no longer think of you as my daughter anymore, and that means I'm not going to go to your wedding. So now tell me why you're even bothering to text me in the first place right now.
The reason is that my husband's family is all upset with me right now because you never showed up to my wedding. I'm not sure why they would care at all about you being here or not, but they're telling me that if you don't come, they're not going to let the wedding happen.
And that would be right of them. A long while back, I was the one that saved your husband's father from a terrible car accident. And the only reason you're getting married to his son now is because of me. I was the one that thought his son would be a perfect match for what was my cute little daughter.
Huh? What are you going on about? What story is that? I heard that he was introduced to me by my brother.
I know that already. But we only said all of that so that you didn't feel like you were being forced to date him by your mother. We decided it was better to have your older brother say he was a friend of his in order to keep all of that under wraps for a while. You're the only one that's believed that this whole time, while everyone else knows that I was the one that recommended you to his son. Normally, they would have never let someone like you, who never had any accomplishments in or after school, or ever worked a proper job before, marry their son. But because I told them that you were a wonderful daughter and that you'd be just like me, a selfless and family-focused woman, they agreed to let their son meet you.
What? So you're telling me this is all because of you that I'm finally with someone who's going to marry me?
That's right, Hope. But I know that you won't ever believe what I'm saying here. And you probably can't even imagine something like this ever happening to you.
Well, I never knew about this before. Why didn't anyone tell me something like this happened?
You never really cared to listen to anything I've told you in the past 5 years, so why waste my time talking to you about it when someone else could? I knew you'd never listen, and that's why I just let you be.
Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't have ever listened to what you had to say about it. But it doesn't matter now. I understand what's happened. Now, can you come here and see us? I'm telling you, it's all right to come to my wedding now.
Why are you asking me that like everything's all fine and dandy now?
Huh?
You are no longer my child, and I'm not your mother. So it's not happening. I seriously never thought that my own daughter would be as bad as you. Someone that looks down on others for the work they do when you don't even have a proper job of your own. You were never this ruthless when you were a little girl, Hope. But you are just so screwed up now that I can't handle talking to you about anything anymore.
Hold on a second, Mom. Can you calm down a little? What the hell are you trying to say to me right now? Are you actually still upset with me after what happened a while ago?
It's not that I'm upset with you about it. Rather, I've just had enough of you and your selfish attitude. You act like a total witch who doesn't give a care in the world for anyone besides herself and will only want me around when she needs me. I've been the one to raise you for more than 20 years now, Hope. Yet you haven't shown me any ounce of gratitude for any of the effort I put into you. All you have to show for my effort now is saying you want to cut ties to me because you found yourself a man with lots of money. That is so messed up that I cannot even believe what I've heard from you still.
I'm sorry. I suppose I did go a little too far by saying that. But I never said any of that to you with the means of hurting you. I'm sorry that I got a little carried away and said some rude things.
It's too late now to apologize to me for any of that. I no longer want to think of you as a part of my family anymore. And after today, I promise you that I'm never going to have anything to do with you again.
What? Are you for real? Don't say such hurtful things like that to me. If you don't come and see my wedding, there will be no more wedding for us to be at. That will really make things bad for my situation.
Why do you think I care about your situation?
Well, because if your daughter is in a bad situation, you'll feel bad for me as well, right? So that's why you need to hurry up and get over here. You don't want for your daughter's wedding to be canceled because you didn't show, right?
I don't care what happens to your wedding, actually. And can you stop it with calling yourself my daughter and things like that? You are not my daughter and never have been.
What? You're going to be that mean to me now?
Who was the one that started all of this by being so mean to me? I forgot, but wasn't it you that's been a little witch to me for a long time now? At first, I thought you were just having a couple of bad days, and that's why I never bothered to ask what was wrong. But even after graduating from high school, you've been very rude to me and given me the cold shoulder. And the fact that I still cared for you even after you turned 18 with no thanks in return was embarrassing for me. I really was a bad mother for doing that for you. But it's been because of me being a bad mother to you that you were able to get married to that man. This low-life mother of yours happened to save someone's life and in return give you a chance at having a husband.
Are you really that mad at me for calling you a lowlife? I get it, Mom, and I'm sorry that I said such a thing about you. How many more times do you want me to say I'm sorry for all of that? I never said any of that to put you in a bad mood or anything, okay?
Then why were you saying such hurtful things like that to me? My whole life I've gone on hearing all sorts of hurtful things from people. But what you were saying about me was the worst I've ever had the misfortune of hearing. But it's not like I care anymore about all of that because you're no longer my daughter.
I told you not to say that about me. I'm still your daughter, right? You shouldn't even be trying to ruin your own daughter's wedding right now because that's not what moms do. You get what I'm saying to you, right?
I have no idea what you keep going on about. And I don't care to understand. If you think you can be married to him without my help, then go ahead. But just know that I'm not there to help you anymore. I want to become a complete stranger to you now. And I've already moved back to my parents' house.
What? You moved back there?
So, that means if there is a chance that your husband does throw you out, you won't have anywhere to run home to. And don't forget that your brother is also upset with you.
He's mad at me now, too?
He has no plans of coming to your wedding now either. And he doesn't plan to hang out with you anymore, the same as me.
So not only are you mad at me, but he is as well? I never even did anything that bad besides say a few rude words, right?
You might think that what you did doesn't mean much to anyone, but you ended up doing something that will end up even hurting those that are strangers to you. Now, if you understand what I've meant, can you please leave me alone?
I do understand you, Mom, and right now I feel so sorry for what I've done and want to fix all of this. So can you please come here and help my wedding get moving? Please, Mom. I know that I screwed up by saying what I said to you, and I promise that I'll never call you a lowlife or anything close to that ever again.
It's too late for that hope. If you've really learned that what you've done is wrong, then use your new understanding to do better after all of this. I know that you don't have a family anymore, but I'm sure there will be someone in your future willing to be around you, as long as you have learned from this.
What? Are you really planning on just disowning your own daughter like this?
How many times are you going to ask me if I'm being serious about this? You were the one that asked for this, so you should be thrilled that I'm gone now. So leave me alone, please. I told you never to ask me for anything, right? Goodbye forever now. It would be a miracle if your wedding was still to happen after this.
In the end, the wedding that Hope was supposed to have with her husband was canceled, and that completely sent her into a deep depression. And following that, her marriage fell apart as well with her husband, and she lost the right to ever go into his house. Not only did she lose her husband, but her brother and her mother as well. And that left Hope with very little hope in the end. Her mom did as she had asked and cut ties to Hope completely, and then went and apologized to the family of the groom. And as a gift of good standing between the two families, they ended up giving her a new job within their company, where she'd be able to retire in a few years with a nice package. So she ended up ending things with a lovely life, where she could feel safe living alone in her house. Where someone like Hope ended up losing all her family and was with nothing more than the clothes on her back in the open road. In other words, she's homeless and without money. It's safe to say that things you should never say to your family should definitely never be said to any strangers either. But Hope went against that, and this is her outcome.
Hey, Leah, I don't know where you are, but Zoe is coming over in like an hour.
Really? That's a surprise because she only visits on holidays. Did something happen?
Nope, she is actually going to be living with us from today.
What? Wait, doesn't she live with her husband?
She got divorced and has nowhere to go.
This is too sudden. But you are really nice to let her live at our house. This is until she finds a new place, right?
Of course not, she'll be living with us permanently. I invited my parents over to live with us as well because it'll be easier for them and we can help each other when something happens.
Your parents visit us every weekend. Do they need to live with us?
Yeah, because they live about 2 hours away and Zoe needs them, especially now.
It's a good thing you love your family, but why didn't you ask me beforehand? There are things you need to think about.
I thought that you were okay with it, plus what things?
Like space? There isn't enough space for all of us, plus I work from home and I don't want people making noises while I have meetings because I won't be able to focus. Also, money? We can't financially support everyone.
Yeah, and why don't you just find somewhere else to go, like the library or your friend's house for your job? About the money, how about just finding another job? Don't you know that my little sister is heartbroken now and needs our support?
I can't go somewhere else because my company has strict security to prevent info leakage. Are you serious about the job? I work full-time, unlike you, who only works 2 times per week. So why don't you find another job?
Yeah, I work 2 times per week, but longer hours than you, so that's enough for me.
There are people who work full-time like me who work 8 hours 5 times per week.
Don't you just sit there and do stuff on the computer, though? I use physical strength, so I gotta take a rest a few days.
Yeah, but I get tired mentally, but I just shake it off and work. Working's not easy, you know? You're just slacking off and think it's okay because you can rely on me whenever you're in trouble.
Hey, I'm not slacking off. I work hard, but I sometimes need help. Why don't you experience my job once, then you'll know.
You have to be responsible for your own life sometimes, you know? If you say that, why don't you experience mine also?
It's just copying and pasting and typing, so it should be easy peasy.
We're not going anywhere with this, so let's put this conversation aside and focus on your family living with us.
You brought this up. Look, if you want to complain about my family and my job, then why don't you just leave?
What, me? You're kicking your own wife out?
Exactly, my family comes first.
I'm part of this family too.
No, you're not. Seems like you don't want my family to live here, so I really don't care about you anymore. Why don't you just find a new place to stay?
I never said I don't want them here. I just told you let's talk about this once. Find a new place to stay? That's too sudden.
If you can't find anywhere, then how about that doghouse in the backyard? It was Oreo's, but he passed away 5 years ago and I left it there. He'll probably fit because he was a large breed.
Are you being serious right now?
Yep. Hey, living in a doghouse doesn't sound that bad.
You're pissing me off, so I'll go talk to Zoe about this. Hey, Zoe, I heard you're moving back here. Is everything okay? Didn't you hear anything from Hike? Of course not. Yes, I'm going to live there from today, so did you pack your bags? You're gonna leave, right? What? You want me to leave also? Yeah, because I only want to live with my family, so it's gonna be a problem if you're there. I told Hayek about this, and he said that he would look into doing something about it. He happened to talk to me about that something a few minutes ago. Oh, really? Well, now you know. Can you hurry up and leave? I need about 2 to 3 days to pack my things because I work every day, plus it's too sudden. Do you even have things to pack? I remember you being a minimalist. I can help you if you want. That way you can leave earlier. No, that's fine. I don't like people touching my stuff. Can I tell you one thing that I want you to do? Things have changed at your parents' house, so you should talk to them instead of your brother because he's an idiot and probably won't understand how serious it is. After you hear everything, you probably can't kick me out. What things? Are you saying this because you want to stay there? No, it's just that you should know the truth. What truth? I bet it's an excuse for staying at that house. It's my house, so please leave. You're saying the exact same thing as Hayek. Let me guess. Are you gonna tell me to go live in the doghouse too? No, but that's such a good idea. Hayek is a genius. You will be living here but outside, so I don't need to see you. So you agree with him. I thought you were a kind person, but boy, was I wrong. I don't care about your opinion and don't want to argue right now. My husband pissed me off and I'm heartbroken now. I just want to spend time with my family. Okay, whatever. But I think you'll face problems later on, though. What problems? You'll see.
Did you pack your bags? Hurry, cause Zoe's having problems with you staying at our house. Leave the house as soon as you come home.
Can't believe you had the nerve to move all of my stuff into the hallway and gave her my room.
I thought that moving your stuff was gonna be easier for you.
I hate it when somebody touches my stuff. I've been telling you that since we dated. I also wasted my time arguing with you and driving to my company when I had time to do work instead. About the room situation, you could have just said something like, "Hey, this used to be her room and she feels comfortable, so can she have your room?"
So, that's not my problem. I don't need to ask you that because you won't live here anymore. Hey, there's some things in the room that are perfect for Zoe right now. A good speaker so she can listen to her favorite songs, a small meditation room, ooh, and a few aroma candles.
Yeah, something that I bought. She can have those if she pays for it.
She's heartbroken now, so aren't you nice enough to give it to her?
I would have let her if she wasn't a bitch to me.
She's not a bitch, she's just stressed out. Why don't you buy the same thing then?
You seriously have no common sense. Don't you usually ask the person who bought it first to see if it's okay to give away their stuff?
It's my house, so whatever's in this house is mine, and I have the right to decide, okay? Understood?
Wow, what happened to you? You were so nice at the beginning, but you turned into a scumbag. Fine, she can have those since I'm a nice person. I'll leave this house when I get home, but I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure that you want me to leave?
I never changed, you just think that. Thank you, yes, I want you to leave. I cleaned out the doghouse for you if you want somewhere to go.
I do have somewhere to go, so you didn't need to do that. I'll head home to get my stuff in a little bit and go to the clerk's office to file the divorce papers because kicking me out means that you want to get a divorce, right?
When did I fill one out?
A few months ago. You don't remember? You said, let's fill one out just in case if something happens.
Oh, did I? No, I don't remember that, but I was fed up with you anyway, so please go ahead. Thank you for doing it for me.
No problem. Are you 100% sure about this? You guys are gonna face problems.
I just told you that it's fine. I also know that this is a threat, so I have no problem with you leaving.
Okay then. If something happens, I won't help you, okay?
Yeah, hurry up and come home. Where the hell are you? Pick up the phone! Why are you ignoring me?
I don't want anything to do with you. There's no need to talk.
Who cares about that? Can you explain why we're getting evicted? Pick up the phone or come here and talk about this.
I don't want to listen to your voice or see you, so I'll explain it here. I sold the house. That's it.
What do you mean you sold the house?
Well, your parents asked me to be the owner of the house, and I've been paying the mortgage this whole time, so I can do whatever I want, because it's my house, right?
Wait, you're joking. Why did they ask you?
I'm not joking. They got hooked on gambling and got into debt, and since they still haven't paid it off yet, they asked me if I could help them pay for the mortgage. They didn't tell you because they were embarrassed. Also, you probably didn't know this, but they are borrowing money from me. If you don't believe me, why don't you ask them? Sorry, but I have to laugh because I can just picture what your face looks like right now.
Why didn't you tell me if you knew about this? How much are they borrowing from you?
About 20 grand. I didn't tell you because you never believed what I said, so I thought it was a waste.
This is something important, though.
Yeah, even if I told you, you probably will say it's just an excuse to stay at that house. I mean, all I did was sold something that I didn't need anymore. You've done the same things before online, right? Selling something to earn some money. It's the same idea.
It's not the same thing. How dare you sell the house without asking me?
Ah, now you understand how it feels like to know things in such short notice? That's exactly how I felt when you invited Zoe and your parents to live in the house. If you still want to live there, the only option is to buy the house.
Buy the house? This was my parents' house to begin with and should have been mine if you hadn't done something.
Excuse me, but whose fault is this? Even if you became the owner of the house, you probably couldn't pay the mortgage, so I did you a favor.
That's not true. I would have found another job or, I don't know, a full-time job.
I doubt that. You said that 2 times per week is enough for you, so I know that you would have had to ask someone for help. That doesn't matter to me anymore, though.
Wait, do my parents need to leave the house also?
Of course. Is there a reason for them to stay?
They're old! Are you seriously making them go through this?
Yes. Why don't you take care of them then? You're their son.
Yeah, I am, but...
Oh, right. You don't have money, so that's not possible. Let me talk to your parents then.
Why?
What do you mean, why? That doesn't matter to you.
Why am I getting kicked out? I thought you sold the house!
I canceled it because your parents begged me not to sell it. Plus, they still need to pay me back, so they made a deal with me. Find a job and pay me and the money they borrowed from me little by little and kick you out.
What? I'm so confused right now.
What's confusing? I canceled selling the house and your parents are staying, but not you.
Are you being serious right now? No, wait, how about Zoe?
Yes, I just talked to her and she said that she still wants to stay at the house. I know you're panicking right now, but it's funny how the family you care about don't really seem to care about you.
This is not possible. My family will never betray me. Where am I supposed to go then?
They just did. You're a grown adult, so why didn't you think about it?
Are you happy to make my life even more miserable? I already am getting the cold shoulder from my coworkers because they know about the divorce, and my friends cut ties with me, and I literally have no money. Do you know how I feel?
It's not good, right? Now do you know how I felt when you told me to leave the house and live in the doghouse? I'm done with you, so good luck with everything, and you better leave the house right now.
It's not a good feeling, okay? I'm so sorry, Leah. Wait, why don't we just get back together, huh? I still love you.
It's too late now. Plus, you never said I love you to me for 3 years, so I know that it means let me stay at the house because I have nowhere to go.
That's not true. If I didn't love you, I would have divorced you a long time ago.
But you didn't because you were using me for money, right? You don't need to lie to me because you said you were fed up with me. I think that's why you were saying jokes to hurt and piss me off recently because you didn't need me anymore.
Hey, did you think that I was serious about living in the doghouse? I was really joking about that, and I'm sorry if I hurt you, okay? Let's all live together like before. I'll go to the clerk's office and cancel that divorce, okay? Sounds good, right?
Absolutely not. I don't want to live with an asshole like you. If you want to cancel divorce, I'll call a lawyer to help me file for divorce.
Excuse me? I don't remember being one. What? Lawyer?
You were this whole time. I'm getting pissed off just thinking about what you did to me, so I'll divorce you no matter what. You probably can't pay for the lawyer, so why don't you give up?
Don't say that. Please help me. I don't have anywhere to live, and I'm so sorry for everything.
Sorry, but I really don't care at this point. If you can't find anywhere, how about the doghouse in the backyard?
Are you being serious right now?
Living in a doghouse doesn't sound that bad. You'll probably fit because Oreo was a large breed. Actually, you don't even deserve a doghouse, so why don't you live in a dumpster since you're trash? Hayek had no choice but to leave the house, and since he had nowhere to go and no money, he ended up being homeless. He quit his job because he felt awkward being there and is looking for a different job now, but is having a hard time since he only wants to work 1 to 2 times per week. He tries to reach out to me and his family, but everyone cut ties with him, so he's completely on his own. On the other hand, I'm living a stress-free life and even bought a dog and rebuilt Oreo's doghouse since it was a tad small for Hunter. I just hope that Hayek will not start living in it.
I'd like to look for my real father, so would you please hire someone to start searching for him?
What? You're wanting to look for your father, the one you're related to by blood? I wouldn't really recommend you doing something like that. Why are you wanting to look for him?
Why does it matter to you? I have the right to find him. So stop it with whatever opinion you have about this. Are you starting to get all worried about having your cute little daughter taken away from you by him? That's pretty disgusting to think about, actually, so would you leave me alone?
Wait, that's not what I'm worried about. What do you plan to do if you find him?
Would you please stop trying to pick away at my plans? You're not allowed to know anything about what I have planned for my real father, so just leave all of that information be. I'll have you know, by the way, that I do not view you as my father. I never have, and the best I can think of you as is my mother's side hunk.
Side hunk?
You know, like a side chick.
Oh, is that right? Alright then, I understand what you're saying. I'd only been trying my best all these years to raise you like I was your father. But you're not even going to show appreciation for any of that, are you?
I would never appreciate some unrelated stranger coming into my life and trying to act as though they've always been my real father. So stop trying to, alright?
Unrelated stranger? I understand that I'm not your real father, but I've been putting in so much work to make sure this family has everything it's needed. And I made sure to get you a job working for that construction firm. Yet you're still going to call me a stranger?
Are you trying to get me to feel bad for you or something now? I never even asked to become a construction worker, all right? What made you think that a young woman like me would ever want to work in construction? Are you brain dead or something? How about you put in some effort finding me a better job working at a cosmetics store or something cute?
But that was the only thing I could do for you. You never really took any of your part-time jobs seriously, and you just messed around in school instead of focusing on your grades. It was you who chose not to take their future seriously, so when it came time for you to actually need a job, the only thing I could help you find was that job. Had I not stuck my neck out for you and found you that job, you would probably still be working random odd jobs like you were before I helped.
Wow, I hate all you old men. Always preaching about how amazing you are and why everyone should be just like you. Is that why you stuck me into this construction firm? Come on now. That's worse than just being rude. How about you find yourself a better job, you idiot?
Don't start making any of this about me, May.
But who else should I be blaming for all this? Aw, if only Mom was still around to help me get out of this mess and into a proper life. I wish it was you who would have died in that accident instead of her, honestly. Why did she have to be the one to die then?
Now you are taking things a few steps too far, May. I am trying my best to stay open-minded to everything you're talking about here. But when you start bringing stuff like that up, you're really making it difficult for me. You need to start thinking about how what you say will affect how others will feel. If you don't, then you are going to lose all of those that love you, and you'll be on your own in the future and will get no help.
What are you talking about? What help will I need? I'm going to be getting married to a very wonderful office-working man, and he's going to love me and help me no matter what. Once I've become a part of his family, I won't have to think about what I can and can't say ever again.
I'm sure you might think that's the case, but I'm telling you right now, it isn't.
Ugh, this is getting to become so tiring. I don't have the energy to listen to you go on and on like that all day.
Well, I'm sure you don't.
Anyway, you have a buddy who's working as an investigator, right? For the police? I honestly never understood why your friend would be working a job like that at his age, but I guess he's finally going to become of some use to me. I want you to go get him to find my real father for me.
Listen, May, I can ask him to help you out, but do you really think he's going to want to help you when you talk about him like that? He is my friend, but he is not me, which means he might not be as willing to deal with you when you talk like that. Make sure when you meet him that you're on your best behavior and don't say anything rude, all right?
Did I not just say that you're not my father? I am tired of you thinking you're so important to me when all you're good for is listening to me and doing as I say, you old fart.
Understood. Carter, I have something I'd like to talk with you about. So you have some time?
Hello, Henry. What's going on? It's been a little while since you've contacted me.
Well, this has to do with your skills as an investigator. My daughter, May, she's asked me to get in touch with you and ask for your help.
Hey now, what was that? I thought that you and her weren't at all that close to one another, and that she'd never ask you for anything. So she has really asked you to get me to help her.
Well, it's not really that she asked me to do this. Rather, she's demanded that I get you to help her. She knew about how you are an investigator for the police, so she thinks she can use your help and doesn't even have to ask for it herself.
I kind of figured that would be the case between you two. So, what's this that she's wanting me to take a look into?
May wants for you to start looking for a real father, the one she's related to by blood. At least that's what she's told me to ask you to do.
What?
But that girl's real father, the one she's related to by blood, he's, Yeah, I know about all of that. But I'm not sure how things have gone with him, so I can't really make a good, educated guess as to where he's at in life. My wife is long gone now, so there's been no way for me to tell. I'm sure that's the case. But is this really something you would want to have me do? Wouldn't to me going out and finding that guy for her be a bit tough on you? Not really. By this point, I don't really care what happens if you find him. She is old enough now where she can decide what she wants to have happen with her life, so I'll let her experience the weight of her decisions firsthand. And the other thing is, you know that I have put a lot of effort into raising her and everything, right? Well, she told me the other day that she wishes her mother had never died in that accident. That it was instead me who died. Wait. She said that to you? The whole reason that crash happened in the first place. I have been hiding that very reason from her this whole time. She was thrown away by her real father and all, so I wanted her to at least have some respect for her real mother. You are far too kind of a man, Henry. Even if you are like her father, the way she is acting, if she were my daughter, I'd make sure she heard all about the truth so that she could see how stupid she's acting. And isn't it because of you that she has that job? What is going on over there, Henry? I know, but she's even complaining about that job I've given her now. She told me that she never wanted to work for any construction firm. Now she's blaming me for being the one that put her in a situation where she had to take the job. Oh my God, Henry. I think you need to discipline that daughter of yours a little more. It's because of you that she even has a job at all right now. She barely even went to class in high school and has nothing to show for herself at her age. She needs to start understanding that this world is not all about her, and that if she doesn't start taking responsibility for her actions, it's going to chew her up and spit her out. I'm thinking the exact same thing, but it's become too late for me to do anything else to help her. She's an adult now, even if her behavior tells us otherwise. She's planning on getting married soon. I think this is pretty much it for my role as her parent, and I'll let her go ahead and live the life she wants. So please just go start looking for that father of hers, would you? What? That girl is going to get married now? She actually found someone who would want her? Please pardon me for saying this, but how could such a selfish witch like her find a man to marry? What kind of man did she end up finding? I'm not sure. She won't ever let me go out and meet with him. She doesn't even see me as her father, so of course she's never going to let him meet me. And is her fiancé or whatever okay with something like that? How am I supposed to know what he thinks? But considering that she's still with him to this day, and they want to get married, means that she's been pulling some sort of really good lie. Well, I suppose that's true. Although if I were in his shoes, I'd want to meet her father more than anything before marriage. Ever since she got that job from me, she has been such a pain in my butt. She's the kind of person where she only really cares about someone as long as she can get what she wants from them. So if she's been able to keep me around this long while treating me like crap, then she must be just that good at lying. But none of it is going to bother me now. And that's why you're totally complacent with me going out and looking for a real father. This is pretty much the end of your relationship with her anyway, so you might as well give her one last parting gift. I'm not sure what kind of man her real father is now, but that's not going to matter to you or I, now is it? That's exactly right. That's why I'm doing as she said, and asking you to find her that man. And when it comes to the cost of your services, make sure she's the one who has to pay for them. If she doesn't pay you for them, then I'll make sure the money comes out of her paycheck. Understood. Looks like you really want her to grow up now. She's an adult now, and needs to understand that she is going to be held responsible for everything she asks for and does, whether she likes it or not.
I just got a message from the investigator. He has finally found out where my real father is. Thank God.
Is that right? Congratulations.
I was really wondering what would happen if I was never able to find him. That friend of yours who was doing all of that investigating is really slow at his job, right? No wonder the police in this town never get anywhere.
Hey, don't speak about his work that way. Please don't tell me you spoke to him with that tone before.
What's wrong with me talking about him taking too long to get his work done? I'm just being honest that he might be too old for his profession now.
But you say things like that in the rudest way possible. You are not being rude to him about it, right? He may be one of my friends, but he's also a complete stranger to you and should not be spoken to in such a childish manner.
I'm the one paying him, so I can say whatever I want. And now that I've given you the news, this is pretty much it for you. I no longer need you anymore. I made sure not to invite you to my wedding tomorrow, so make sure you're not showing up.
What?
You really think I'd want some fake father like you who works in construction at my wedding? I've made sure to invite my real father to this wedding tomorrow, so you're not allowed to come into here.
But what about yourself? Isn't your fiancé and his family already aware that I work in construction as well as you? And have been your dad for years now?
Of course I haven't said anything to them about all that. And they are never going to find out about us working in construction either. You really think I'd ever want to tell them about how you work such a low-life job? No way. I made sure to tell them all that my father has been working overseas as an elite this whole time.
Couldn't you have at least gone with a bit more of a believable lie?
But Mom said it herself, didn't she? She said that my real father has been overseas all this time working as an elite. And the only reason she had to divorce him is because they couldn't live together anymore. So none of this is a lie. That's why I am so looking forward to all of tomorrow. I'll be able to marry my amazing fiancé, and I'll be able to meet with my elite father once again.
Now that you mention your mother, she did say something like that. But I thought I made sure to make things right after that. Your mother was just saying that to make you feel good about your real father. Really, it was all a lie.
All right, yeah, and you really expected me to believe your poor excuse for a lie? It sucks so much for me to have a man like you marry my mom after my real father left and then sit around lying all the time. And that's why I've never thought about you as a father figure to me.
So you're really not bothering to listen to a thing I say then, May?
Anyway, now that I've told you all I needed to say, I'm going to cut ties to you. Don't you ever talk to me again after this, all right?
I see. Have a good life then without me. I just hope that things go exactly the way you're hoping.
Stop trying to talk to me like you're my father.
Goodbye forever, May.
Come to my wedding right now, Dad. Things are not going well for me at this wedding whatsoever.
Dad? I'm sorry, but you must have the wrong number. I don't believe that I'm your father.
You're my dad, though. Aren't you supposed to be my father?
No, I don't believe I am. I thought that your father was invited to your wedding today, and that all I am to you is a complete stranger, right? You were telling me yesterday that you invited your real father after all.
And he's completely insane. Who the hell is this homeless man? He came in here completely wasted off his butt and smells like the bathroom at a frat party. And then when he saw me, he came to hug me and his smile turned into a frown and he began to vomit all over the place. This is the worst thing to ever happen to me.
Is that so? Well, I don't care. That's your real father, the one tied to you by blood. So be happy with what you've asked for and leave me out of it. Congrats on being able to meet with him again. Now, you have a good rest of your wedding.
Hold on a sec. I have no idea what's going on right now. There's no way a man like that could ever be related to me by blood or be my father.
But that's the man my friend had found for you, right? He would have gone through all the testing to make sure he was truly your father before letting you know. There should have even been DNA tests done on him. So please don't feel as though my friend made any mistakes. He did exactly as you asked and found you your real father.
There's no way. How could that guy be my real father, though? What is going on right now? There is no way in hell my father should be anything like that man. I was told that he's been working overseas this whole time and is an elite company man.
And, as I was saying to you before, all of that was a lie made up by your mother to try and make you feel happy about your real father.
What?
Don't you what me? I told you plenty of times now, May, that your mom has been lying to you about him and that he's not as good of a man as she wanted you to think. But you never listened to me once, so shame on you, I suppose. Well, now that your real blood-related father is standing in that room with you covered in vomit, are you going to believe me?
No way. So you're telling me that this was all true? That Mom had been married to a homeless man?
I'm not sure what all happened before she married him, but when she was married to him and had made you, he was like a parasite to her that did nothing at all. He just crashed in the house all the time with your mother and would drink all day before going out to work part-time at night. However, it's really not sure what kind of part-time job that was, since he never paid for the house or the bills.
And you're saying that parasite of a lousy man is my real father? Why would my mom ever want to marry a man like that?
From what else I'd been told, she only married him after he had gotten her pregnant. She was under the impression that if she had gotten pregnant, the only thing left she had to do, was marry the man. And after only a few months, she couldn't handle being married to him anymore. That's what led to her divorcing him not too long after.
You're lying, right?
You'd think I'd be lying to you now? I'm going to tell you the whole truth now. The reason why your mom came and married me not too long after that was because your real father wasn't going to be able to pay child support for you. So she needed someone with a decent income to carry a lot of the weight. That's why she started to date and then marry me.
Then this whole thing about my real father being overseas working as an elite company man, that's really all a lie?
Yep. That was really all a lie. Your mother was really good at lying to people in order to make herself look good. So she lied to people like her friends and family, even her own parents, in order to not be badly judged for having you and getting a divorce. And by that point, she couldn't stop herself from lying anymore, and got you all caught up in it as well. You are just like your mother now, lying about things to everyone while going into a marriage thinking it will all be okay.
Then why the hell did you even decide to marry a woman like her?
Because she had lied to me as well. But over time, I could see through her lies because of all the suspicious things she'd been up to. And at the time, I was pretty good at figuring out when someone was covering something up or not. So when I found out she had another boyfriend while married to me, I really dug in deep to see what else she was lying about.
What? Mom had another boyfriend?
This is where I'm going to start to really open up this can of worms for you. You're an adult now, after all, so you should be able to handle all of the truth. When your mother had gotten into that car crash, she was in the car with her boyfriend.
Huh? There's no way. right?
It looks like they got into that crash while going out on a date. I'm not sure if you remember anything about that day, but she was supposed to be going out to get you from school. But then she told me out of the blue that she had other plans come up and made me go get you.
I remember that. I was expecting Mom to show up for me that day, but then you came to pick me up. I was furious that you came to get me and started to scream and yell at you. And then after getting back home, Mom never came back.
She received a text from her boyfriend asking to go out, and that must have made her change plans last second on us. She was so into that man that she was even willing to forget about her own daughter for him. She would even do this to me before the crash, always going out to see him after work, forcing me to come home and take care of you all the time. And well, looks like that last date of hers was her death sentence.
But no. In other words, had she just come to pick me up that day instead of going out with her boyfriend, she could have lived?
Well, that seems to be the case. So, this means that your whole fantasy of me going out and dying instead of your mother would have never happened, because I was never cheating on her with another woman or man.
You can't say that. Why have you kept all of that hidden from me for so long?
I didn't think something like that should have been told to you as you were growing up. Hearing about how your own mom was having an affair and ended up losing her own life because of it would have been good for you. So in order to keep you happy and healthy, I kept the truth a secret from you, knowing that one day I'd be able to tell you once you had become an adult. I understand that I'm not related to you by blood, but you are still like a daughter to me.
So that's what you thought? But shouldn't you have hated her for all of that cheating and viewed me as nothing more than a child of that nasty woman?
Well, I'm sure most men would have viewed you and your mother that way. The end of our marriage and her life was not pretty for me. And the man that she cheated on me with died in that accident as well. For a while, I was depressed thinking about how to end my suffering from that day.
Yet through all of that, you kept me around and took care of me?
To me, you were still like my daughter. I wasn't going to leave you all alone after my wife, your mother, had died. And over the years, you started to skip school all the time and would never keep a stable job anymore. I had to start thinking about your future for you. And that's when I ended up sticking my neck out and getting you that job as a construction worker. That was the best that I could do for you, considering you ended all your other options.
Why did you never tell me about what happened with you and Mom, though? Had you told me about how hard things had been for you after she died, I would have...
You would have what? I'm sure nothing would have changed had I told you the truth, right? You should have already seen how much effort I was putting in for you. Working 10-hour shifts, 6 days a week for years in order to help keep you happy, to the point I sometimes had to spend the money I had saved up for myself on you.
I know I should have understood things after seeing all that. I get it now. I'm going to apologize to you for everything I've done. But right now, I need you here at this wedding. I need you to tell my fiancé and his family that you're my real father.
No can do. I am not your real father. I'm not even a father-like figure to you. We both cut ties to one another, so all I am is a stranger to you now.
That can't be. You were the one who raised me this whole time, so please come here as my father.
Weren't you the one who called me your fake father, who works a low-life's job? Also, I'm tired of being used as both your ATM and your punching bag when it comes to how you want to live your life. Can't you see that today turned out the way it did because you got what you continued to ask for? I suggest that you go ahead and take responsibility for the results you've gotten, as nobody else will.
I'm telling you that I understand I've messed up. If things don't get any better, my fiancé said he's going to leave me and never come back.
Well, let's hope you can figure something out quickly to stop that from happening. Although I'd highly anticipate him leaving you, as there is nothing he would want more than getting away from a liar like yourself.
Don't you frickin' say things like that! Help me! The only person I have left to help me is my dad!
Well, then go and ask him for help.
I'm not talking about this homeless man, I'm talking about you!
You can't be, because you've said it yourself that you've never even thought of me as your father all this time. Stop trying to change the story on me when I seem to have a better memory than you.
I'm sorry.
One other thing regarding the construction job you hate oh so much. You're being fired from it. There is no other option for us here, considering I had done everything I could to get you the job, yet you went about and complained the whole time while talking trash about everyone you worked with. So you can now consider yourself unemployed. There is no one else out there to help you now. Go cry in hell about it. After all of that, the wedding ended up being canceled, and May's fiancé told her that things were off for good. He told her there was no way he'd make a wife out of someone who was related to drunks, and that if she wanted to marry him so badly, she should have just told the truth from the beginning. With everything falling onto her shoulders now, she was left with the bill for the whole wedding, and also the bills for all the things that her real father had ruined while stumbling around vomiting everywhere. Unfortunately, she had already used up all of her money paying for the investigator she had been asking for, but was not going to be making any more money for a bit because she had lost her job working for the construction firm. In a panic, she began running all over town looking for a new job, although I'm not sure there's much left that this town has to offer her. I'd like to say that this ending was the fruits of her labor, that she deserves to eat every single one of them.
Maria, I want to talk to you about something. Madison? Hi. Thanks for inviting me over today. I had a great time. I'm sorry I couldn't message you sooner. I only just finished up at work. You really don't have any common sense, do you? I guess it was wrong of me to expect someone as poor as you to have any manners at all. Excuse me? I went out of my way to invite you to my home, but you didn't even send me a message to thank me for letting you in. I got sick of waiting, so I messaged you, but really, you should have messaged me first. Don't you feel any gratitude for the kindness I showed you? Everyone else already messaged me ages ago. I think it's common sense for people to thank someone when they've invited you to their home. Is that too hard for you to understand? I expected the bare minimum, and I got nothing. I understand where you're coming from, but don't you think you're overreacting? I was at work. I already told you when I saw you earlier that I didn't have time to stick around, remember? That means I didn't have the time to message you. It's not like I forgot to thank you. I was planning to send a message when I had the time to look at my phone. I don't think you have to make that big a deal out of me not sending you a thank you message straight away. Anyway, thank you for inviting me into your home. It was lovely. I was only there for a few minutes, but I love what you've done with the place. Of course you'd love it! I hired an interior designer especially to advise me on how to set up each and every room. That's something someone like you can only dream of, since you have to work yourself. What are you trying to say? I'm saying that I know it means that you don't have enough money to be a housewife, and I pity you for it. I don't have to work because I'm from a different part of society than you. I'm pretty much a celebrity. I don't have to work, unlike people like you. Having a husband that makes so much money is great, but I guess you wouldn't understand that. I live in an apartment like this, I only eat organic foods, I wear all the latest fashion, and I have enough brand items for an army. I don't think anyone can deny I'm living the best life. Plus, I can show all this off to poor people like you who don't have anything else in their boring lives to look forward to. Being rich is the best. It makes me feel so good about myself, and admit it, you wish you had this life too. Good for you, Madison. But I think you're lacking a lot of class for someone who likes to suggest that she's used to fine dining. Maybe you should find some of that before you buy your next evening dress. What did you just say to me? What? Do you want to pick a fight with me? Because I'll make you regret you ever said something like that to me. I took precious time out of my day to show you around my beautiful house, and this is how you talk to me? Excuse me, what makes you think you can speak to me like that? I knew it was you after all. It's your fault. Excuse me? What's my fault? And you say that you showed me around as though I begged you to? But you're the one that pretty much forced us all into your home. You didn't even give us the choice to say no. You ordered us to come, so we turned up. We all thought we were there to have a PTA meeting, but no! You started bragging about the stuff you have on display. What was it? Some fancy plants or something you had in your living room? It was a mystery to me why we all had been rushed to your fancy apartment all of a sudden. But the second you started giving us a tour we didn't even ask for, I knew it was a complete waste of my time. That's why I left as soon as possible so I could go to work. Shut up! There's no point in trying to change the topic. You're a thief! Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about now? What are you saying I stole? This is absolute nonsense, Madison. This is so ridiculous I could laugh. Laugh all you want, but it's not going to be funny for long. Not when I get the police involved. I'm not going to let you get away with stealing things from my home. Not an arrogant poor person like you that thinks she can insult me. Are you that jealous of me and my lifestyle? So much that you'd try to steal a part of it from me? Jealous? Excuse me? You think I'm jealous of you? I understand that having a celebrity like me nearby must be really hard for you, since you have to go home to your boring, dull life. But that doesn't mean you can try and take my stuff from me. That watch you stole is really important to me. Do you understand? Give it back, right now! What are you talking about? I don't know anything about your watch. Do you really think that I stole it from your house? I know it was you! Nobody else could have stolen it but you! You better give it back right away or I won't forgive you! Do you understand what will happen if you don't? I'm going to make you suffer, and you'll wish you had never touched any of my stuff. I've had enough of your accusations. Why would I steal your watch? I don't even know what watch you're talking about. And when would I have had the time to steal it? I was only there for a few minutes because I had to get to work. I was literally in and out. How would I have had the time to take your watch? Plus, you were with me the entire time I was there because you were so insistent on showing everyone around. You were the one that was keeping me from leaving. I didn't see any watch when I was there, and I don't know what you're talking about. You're lying! You're full of lies, you liar! You thief! I'm talking about the watch that cost $10,000. You know what I'm talking about. I know you saw it, and I know you took it when you realized that it cost so much. I'm sorry, but I haven't seen your watch. And you said it yourself. I'm too poor to understand how much the things you own are worth. You may want to make me into the bad guy and lay blame on me, but there's no point. I really haven't touched or seen your watch. You're not going to find your watch if you keep pointing the finger at me, because I really don't have it. Why don't you search your own house again? Maybe you just misplaced it. You're lying! I know you are! I'm not that stupid! I wouldn't lose a watch like that! I already know everything, so there's no point in trying to cover up your own crime! Hurry up and give me back my watch! You're not listening to me. I didn't steal your watch. I have nothing else to say to you, so would you please leave me alone? I have better things to do than to be insulted by you. I'll see you, Madison. Hey, honey. When are you coming home?
I'm on my way right now.
Great! Can you buy me some donuts or a blueberry muffin from the convenience store outside the station? I'm really frustrated because of something stupid one of the women from the PTA circle said to me, and I have to eat something really sweet before I blow up.
Really? You're going to blow up? Sure thing. If a muffin's enough to keep you sedated. Oh, that reminds me. I had something to tell you. One of the women in your PTA circle is married to Smith, right? The really rich one that likes to act like she's a celebrity? The one that you said was living in a high-rise apartment and was taking over the PTA circle and is bossing everyone around?
Yeah, she's the one that pissed me off today, actually. What about her?
I'm not surprised. They both seemed like trouble when we first got to know them, but now I'm sure of it. Her husband resigned from his job the other day.
Her husband resigned? Why?
You're not going to believe it. And you're not going to believe what I heard about him.
Who did you hear it from? I don't remember you saying that you were friends with him.
I'm not. I heard it from Howard. Apparently, Smith was asking him to introduce me to him.
Introduce you? For what? Luke, this is starting to sound really suspicious. I hope you're not thinking about getting involved with whatever he's doing. I have a really bad feeling about where this conversation is going, honey.
Of course not. But you're right about it being suspicious. I have no intention of accepting anything he's offering me. So don't worry. I'm not that stupid. I'll tell him that he'll have to find someone else.
He's offering something? Is what he's doing that bad?
I'll tell you everything when I get home. I'll buy your donuts and your blueberry muffin. So hang in there.
Oh, thank you. I'll get dinner ready in the meantime. Are you an idiot? I can't believe you would be so stupid. Who are you calling stupid? That's my line. I've never seen anyone as stupid as you. Why did you come back to my house? Did you think you could get the chance to steal something else? No, I came back because you wouldn't stop calling me a thief. You were saying that I was running away from discussing it with you, so I came all the way to show you that I have no reason to run or hide from you. But I never thought you would punch me. What's wrong with you? Why would you punch me in the face like that? Who do you think you are? You're just some poor working woman. I'm a celebrity in comparison to you. What has that got to do with anything? Just because you think you're better than me doesn't mean you're free to punch me whenever you want. You assaulted me. Assault? You're overreacting. You're the one that suddenly showed up at my apartment without any warning. It's only natural I would suspect that you would come back to steal something else. You can't trick me. I know what you're up to. People like you don't have the skills or ability to earn a decent amount, so you can only think of taking from other people. I won't ever forgive you for what you've done. I'm sorry, what? You're saying you won't forgive me for something I didn't do? You're the one that needs to beg for forgiveness after assaulting me. I'm telling you, there's no point in lying. I know that you stole my watch the last time you came to my apartment. Of course I won't forgive you. You're a thief. Even if you begged me, I won't ever forgive you. You deserve to get a punch in the face. You don't even have proof that I stole your watch. And yet you still punched me. There's something seriously wrong with you. Who punches someone on a hunch? Blaming me for your watch going missing just because I visited your apartment is a little far-fetched, don't you think? I wasn't the only one that was there that day. So why do you think it was me? Because you took the longest to send me a message thanking me for inviting you on the house tour. You stink of ingratitude. Of course someone like you would steal my stuff. That's your reason? You're kidding, right? How many times do I have to tell you that it wasn't me? You won't even listen to me. You've got a problem if you think it's okay to punch people just because you believe they've done something wrong. You're jumping to conclusions, Madison. I don't care what you say. Give me back my watch. I know it was you. You can't make any more excuses. A poor person like you might not be able to recognize brand items that easily, but that watch costs $10,000. I know that you're planning on selling it. You should be happy that I'll let you off with just a punch and didn't call the police on you. If I call the police, your life is over. You'll go to prison, you'll be even poorer when you come out, and no one will trust you with their stuff. Excuse me? I should be happy? I'm not going to forgive you for what you've done. You're the one that's going to wish you had never punched me. Shut up! Give me back my watch. You're just a thief. You can't threaten me with anything. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to give you, because I never stole anything. You're just jumping to conclusions, and I'm going to get my revenge for the way you've treated me. You better prepare a speech, because you're going to be begging me for forgiveness. What? You're just a criminal. Why would I apologize to you? You're the one that needs to beg me for forgiveness. If you don't want to be taken to court, you better give my watch back. I've told you over and over, but it's expensive, and someone like you doesn't deserve to own something that luxurious. I told you, I can't. Because I don't have it. I don't want your stupid watch, or the money I could make if I really did sell it. I'm not interested in brand items like you are. But if you don't believe me, then there's nothing else we can do. We've hit a dead end in discussing this, so we need someone else to work this out for us. I'm confident that I'm innocent in this situation, and that you're the real criminal for assaulting me. So I don't mind going to court like you say. That's the best way to clear this up. We'll have someone else decide who's right and who's wrong. Happy? Oh, really? You're happy to go to court? Fine. If that's what you want, then that's what you'll get. I don't need a court to tell me how guilty you are. But obviously you're too poor and stupid to understand. So I'll have my lawyer spell it out for you. You're really going to regret this. You can run, hide, and lie all you want, but my lawyer will find out the truth and make you pay for what you've done. Plus, I have money, unlike you. I can afford the best, and when your stupid lawyer loses your case, you'll be wishing you never answered back to me. You'll finally realize how different our worlds are, and how much better I am than you. Yeah, sure. We'll see how that works out for you. If you agree on going to court, then let's speak with our lawyers and find a date that suits us all. We'll find out who's really in the wrong. You're the criminal! Of course you're in the wrong! You stole my watch! You deserve to get a punch in the face! Are you really sure about that? I wonder when you'll finally realize that your watch was never stolen. I wonder when it'll occur to you that your own husband took your watch and sold it. I bet you'll feel really stupid, huh? What are you talking about? What's your husband doing for work, Madison? Don't you know? Here's a hint. He's not working for the same company as my husband anymore. You may have thought that you would be living like a celebrity for the rest of your life, but it looks like your husband has plans of his own. Why don't you ask him about that? Then you'll realize how stupid you've been. You'll find out that your perfect life isn't as perfect as it seems. Boo-hoo! What are you saying? Are you trying to pin the blame on my husband? How stupid can you get? Why would my husband sell my watch? Sadly, you're the only person that hasn't noticed what her own husband has been up to recently. You should talk to him and see what he says. He might try and lie to you and cover it up. But everyone he worked with, including my husband, knows the truth. Knows the truth? What are you saying he's done? He resigned from his position at the company last month and became a scalper. Huh? A scalper? What's that? I've never heard of anything like that. My husband never told me that he resigned. And why would he? He has a great salary and a great position. What's worth throwing all that away? You're just trying to confuse me and draw my attention away from you stealing my watch. Well, I'm not falling for it, Maria. If you keep on saying stupid stuff like that, I'll punch you again. Madison, listen to what I'm saying, because I've had enough of repeating myself. Your husband became a scalper and started selling your stuff online. What? On top of that, He's been recommending it to his previous colleagues, offering to teach them and give them advice on how to sell things at higher prices. That's how everyone at the office found out why he'd resigned. He hasn't just been selling things that he's bought new. He's been selling your stuff too, since you have plenty of brand items. He must have thought you wouldn't miss anything. He's been selling them at ridiculous prices too. I'm surprised that anyone would want to buy anything for that price. But I guess some people are just desperate to look better than other people. Are you sure he hasn't been buying a lot of brand items recently? And they've disappeared without you realizing? Because I hear he's been buying stuff secondhand and selling that too. That's how scalpers work. When they buy things new, they buy a lot of the same items so they can sell them off at whatever price they want to, and then they buy secondhand items and change the way they advertise the product by taking better pictures and write stuff like vintage, limited edition to draw up people in and sell things at a higher price. Those are the lengths scalpers go to make money. My husband? A scalper? But he hasn't said anything about quitting his job. Are you sure? Has he really resigned? No one's seen him at the office for the past month? Yeah, I'm sure. He was bragging about it to one of his colleagues that he found a better job and wanted a partner to work with him. So he was asking for someone to introduce my husband to him. I can't believe it. My husband! You're telling me he resigned without telling me? You told me the other day that he's been working from home for the past few weeks, right? Why don't you take a look at his room where he's been working? You'll find plenty of evidence to back up what I'm saying, and you might even find your watch. You might even find that you've been missing a few other things too. You're joking, right? I still can't believe it. You mean that we can still afford to live in this apartment even though he's resigned? But if he's not a manager in a major company anymore, if he's making money like that, then it means that I can't brag about my perfect life anymore. Does that mean I'm not special anymore? Why should I care? The only person that ever thought you were special because your husband was a manager and was earning more money was you. Anyway, about the watch you accused me of stealing. Funnily enough, it came up on an online flea market site when I search engined it. I heard from Sarah and the other moms that you made a fuss and sent them all pictures of the watch I stole the evening we went to visit, so I checked with them, and they say it's a match. The watch you say I took and the watch that's online are one and the same. It's been put up for sale on a flea market site? Seriously? You're actually serious about my husband selling my things? And he set the starting bid at a really incredible price, too. I hope that it's all a mistake, and that it's just a stranger's watch that happens to have the exact same features. But the page was just created 2 days ago. I felt that it couldn't just be a coincidence and thought I should let you know. It's got nothing to do with me whether your husband sells your stuff or not. That's something you've got to deal with between yourselves. And we can't even confirm whether it really is your watch or not. But I'm not going to take your accusations lying down. Oh my god! That's it! If we can't confirm whether if it's my watch or not, then it's still possible that you have it! And you tried denying it, but it's still possible you didn't just find that page. You're the one that made it! I can't believe I fell for your lies! There's no way my husband would do anything like that! Here we go again. How about we talk to the police? They can search my house, but they won't find your watch or any proof that I sold it. Plus, they can find out who really owns that flea market page and confirm that I haven't touched your precious watch. But I wouldn't be worrying about your watch if I were you. I bet you'll be arrested for assault before you even give it back. Excuse me? Why would I be arrested? Anyone would agree with me that I wasn't wrong for punching you. It doesn't count as assault. Of course it's assault. No matter how expensive it was, you can't punch people over an accessory. When are you going to get that into your thick head? And you didn't just punch me, remember? You even tried to push me down the stairs. Imagine what might have happened if I didn't grab the handrails. If that doesn't count as assault, I don't know what does. At the very least, I'm going to report it to the police, and we'll see what they have to say about it. They can tell us who the real criminal is. You're going to report this to the police? I did it out of self-defense. The police will side with me if I tell them I felt intimidated by you. That you were going to hurt me. I think the security camera in the hallway outside your apartment will back up everything I'm saying and will prove that you're lying about me intimidating you. Huh? Security camera? If the police check the footage on the cameras, it'll show that you punched me the second you realized it was me when you opened the door. I didn't have any time to provoke or intimidate you, and I certainly didn't try and hit you first. The cameras will prove that you're guilty of assaulting me. Crap! I completely forgot about the cameras. Okay then, how about we make a deal? How much money do you want? That'll be enough to shut you up, right? You're offering me hush money? Wow. No thanks. I think you'll need it when my lawyer shuts you down in court, and after your husband gets caught for the illegal activities he's involved in. You're going to need to save as much money as you can while you still can. Plus, I plan on demanding plenty in compensation anyway. What do you mean while I still can? Your husband resigned from his elite and stable post in one of the biggest companies in the country to become a scalper, which isn't exactly a promising career. I mean, I can understand the addictiveness. It must be like hitting the jackpot in a casino. But that luck's not going to continue forever. One day, he'll be caught, or one day he's not going to be able to sell the stuff he's bought, and you'll both suffer the consequences. And I have a feeling that the police will be on his tail pretty soon, since he tried selling a guidebook to my husband and some other colleagues. A guidebook for reselling items, which he offered for another ridiculous price. Even you've got to agree that it wouldn't be strange if he was arrested for trying to con people. He was conning people? When? The guidebook he was selling was full of crap, Madison. And he was trying to sell it for $20,000. $20,000? Would someone actually buy that? Apparently, one of my husband's colleagues, a pretty naive guy, was seriously thinking about buying it until my husband stopped him. Your husband tried selling it to Luke too, but luckily for me, Luke's a bit too smart to get caught in a trap like that. But sooner or later, someone's going to get tricked, and I'm pretty sure that your husband will get charged for fraud or something for pulling tricks like this. Maria, I'm really sorry. I think we had a bit of a misunderstanding. I didn't mean to accuse you of anything. I panicked when I saw that my watch was gone. I swear. I hope that we can talk about this and make up. We've both had some prejudices about one another, but those will disappear and we can forget about all of this once we get to know each other. Would you like to come over for some coffee? Of course not. You punched me and tried to push me down the stairs. How do I know that you won't try and poison me by putting something in my drink? I don't want to talk, and I don't want to get to know you. I already know enough to make me feel that I never want to see you ever again. And I think that's a normal reaction for someone who's been punched for no reason. Don't say that. I really didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I want us to be friends, can't we? I understand that you're finally starting to worry about the consequences of what you've done, but there's no point in trying to sweet talk me. I'm not going to change my mind about talking to the police, and my husband's planning on reporting your husband too. You'll both have to explain yourselves to the police, not to me. Maria, please! I don't want to lose this lifestyle! Forgive me! I'm begging you! You can't be so heartless! Even if you beg me, there's nothing I can do. Even if I could, I wouldn't. You need to learn your lesson. The ones that ruined your perfect lifestyle are you and your own husband because of your own thoughtless actions. And you've got to pay for them. I doubt you'll be able to enjoy your high-rise apartment for much longer, but do your best. I hope you can find a job too, once you're out of prison. Maria filed a report to the police, and both Madison and her husband were called in for questioning. In the end, they were both found guilty of their crimes and were arrested. Madison for her assault on Maria, and her husband was arrested for fraud. Their children were taken in by Madison's parents, and wouldn't be able to meet their own mother and father until they had left prison. Of course, they could no longer live in the high-rise apartment Madison was so fond of, and even when she did get out of prison, a lot of trouble would be waiting for her. She would have to work hard to regain the trust of her friends and loved ones, and would have to go and find a job herself in order to pay the debt she owed after paying Maria her compensation. We can only hope that she learned that doing bad things will always come back to haunt her.